I guess I'll go first with introductions here. Hi, everybody. I'm ZeroCounts, and I'm
And
here
I'm
with
David.
yeah. Go ahead. They're David,
I'm David.
and
And I am Litalis. Hello.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna be playing the Ignition Factor for the Super Nintendo. Also, shout outs to David for that awesome Biker Mice from Mars run.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it was really hot, so now we got to cool things down again.
that's right. Unfortunately, we're gonna be fighting fires on planet Earth instead of on Mars. But you know, it's okay. It'll be exciting enough with all the fire going on.
Yep, there's a lot of fire, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready. I'll let Latalis kind of explain like what's happening in this game as we start going.
Yeah.
So
For those who don't really know what this game is, I mean, it's a game about saving people. So
that's right.
You guys ready to save people?
Let's save some
I'm ready
people.
to save some lives.
All right.
Who's counting us in? Zero?
I'll count us in. Ready? 3,
Mm-hmm.
2, 1, start.
Fantastic. All right, so yeah, this is the Ignition Factor. We're a firefighter who's got a pretty terrible attitude, honestly, but that's fine. The goal in this game is to rescue people. So here we are, we're entering a building, there's a lot of fires. People are completely helpless, we need to save them. And each level has more people than is required to win. So you see in the top of the screen we have like the people doing the praise the sun right below the timer. That is the number of people we actually need to save. But there are more people than that number. So we basically just get the people that we need. We're just routing around, getting that lady in that room. She lights herself on fire, you know. Yeah, we just...
Yeah, the people just kind of wander around.
I'm gonna
and sometimes
kick this guy.
Yeah, they just kind of walk around. This lady's just in a mannequin for some reason. Like, what? This guy's on a fragile glass. But we can see a little trick here. We actually can void warp back to where we entered by falling down pits. Quite a useful tactic for speed. Jumping in fire less so, but you know, that's fine.
Yeah, I definitely read that
I
gap.
jumped in fire.
It happens, you know.
Speed strats. This guy's also a mannequin. Let's talk about what like we're doing though, right? Like we gotta rescue people. We have various numbers of resources at our disposal. At the start of levels, we can choose a loadout. We have a basic fire extinguisher. And we got some other good tools. We will see them as we go. You got like an axe, helps you break down walls. We got some grenades that take down fire, which we'll use in a much later level. We got plastic explosives, which we use in fragile mines. Why is using explosives in a mine a good thing?
I don't know. I never really thought about it until just now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it uses less oxygen than the axe.
Oh yeah, I guess.
That is the reason. Yes. So right now we're in Bradshaw. This oxygen not as important here, but Bradshaw is the first instance where we have a electronic computer system that we actually need to activate here. And you can see we're doing. David already used, but you see ZeroCounts doing the damage boost to get through there. It's quite good. You can something about damage boost really quick is the fire will launch you in the opposite direction of your button press. So we use that blue fire because we press left, we get launched right. There is some case where you can like frame perfect, like run forward and then press down and get launched forward instead, which is a little silly, but hey, you know, it's the little things.
I want to say it's a pretty...
Careful, David, careful.
I want to say it's a pretty short window. It's like 2 frames or something like that.
It's a very, very short window. Careful, David, though. You almost fell off. All right, here we're going to use a plastic explosive we see on David's screen. Blasting away that door. That is the fastest way back to the start here. It's very, very useful. We're going to be using plastic explosives a lot because of their ability to
We're gonna try our best not to
Takedown
get
stuff.
blown up by the plastic explosives like I did.
Oh, that as well. That as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also very important. Take note of how happy these guys are when they level up. It doesn't look like we have a level up after this, but the dude does like a little jump. I think we saw it last map.
Yes,
but...
that's him. He's from video games. His name is Nikos.
Oh my god, Nikos? Nikos from video games?
Yeah, I don't want people to
Oh
get
my
super
God.
excited or anything, but we have a celebrity here, Nikos from video games.
All right, we're entering the mines. Here we see we're using explosives in a compromised mine. Like, what could possibly go wrong? But explosive, very useful for blowing through most of these walls. There's also pits. We see David has to
Ow.
get hit by a plastic explosive, but also jump over a pit.
That's the wrong wall.
That's the wrong wall, unfortunately. Most walls in this mine can be blown up, though. But this is our first instance of seeing our oxygen tank replacing our fire extinguisher. And as we move around, our oxygen will go down, running will deplete that more. And the only way to refill it is to talk to a fellow firefighter. So routing these specific levels, there's a couple, requires us to kind of manage that oxygen. If we run out of oxygen, we start losing health. Our health is also on that HUD, little heart icon. I'm sure most gamers will recognize that. But once that hits 0, we lose, basically. So,
Shoutouts to gamers, by the way. Shoutouts to gamers.
Shoutouts to gamers for knowing what a health icon looks like. David, you got to blow up the walls, not yourself.
Look, I got the health to spare. It only costs me 24 to work back to the beginning.
True.
Whee! There goes 24.
24 health, yeah. The void warp takes health. This is true. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Here's our level up jump.
Yep, level up jump, always my favorite. All right, next up is
Dino Parks.
Dino Park.
Yep, a crowd favorite.
Yep, this is my favorite level in the game personally. There's a lot of interactive elements. You know, we got that like dinosaur talking to us when we step on panels. Ooh.
Did I mention
careful.
the dash mechanic is weird?
Dash mechanics, you do need to double tap, which like ruins your thumb, but
Yeah, every time you change directions too, which is just a little ridiculous.
Every time. And it is important to run. One of the biggest time losses is if you are not running and you pick up someone, you can mash through text using X or Y, but your character will just kick the air if you're not running while mashing through text, because for some reason, you know, mash through text and kick are the same button, but you cannot kick while you're running. So if you run through a person and then mash, you won't kick. But if you're walking, it is a bit of a time loss and it's a little silly. And in those mines where you're dealing with oxygen as a resource, kicking will deplete your oxygen faster. So that's a thing.
I momentarily forgot what the jump button was, so I ran into some fire. No big deal. It's fine.
Look, I don't recommend walking into the fire.
Yeah.
Like DPS in a MMORPG raid.
Yeah, definitely not an ideal thing. Something I kind of didn't really mention. We are using our CO2 grenades on this level. It is the is it the only use of CO2? I think it might be.
On this route, yeah.
In the route that we do. Basically, CO2 grenades, they will explode in a radius to clear fire. And Dino Park, notorious for having a staggering amount of fire. Who hated dinosaurs this much, you know?
Actually, what happened is that this is just a whole museum of fossil fuel.
Yeah.
That's why.
Makes sense. That checks out. Here we have the boat ride on ZeroCounts' end. Very nice. Very nice.
It's a nice little relaxing part of the run.
Yep. During some early routing, we actually used to, fall in the water there for no reason whatsoever. because we were bad, but we're less bad now. So
We found out that if you run into the boat and both times that you get into it, then you won't actually you won't fall into the water. But otherwise, it's a little it's a little
like
spotty.
weird subpixels, some subpixel nonsense. If you like walk into the boat, you'll be like a weird pixel off, and then you'll just phase through the boat.
It's always those darn subpixels that
Yeah.
something against speedrunning or something.
Yeah, everybody who's ever been boating knows that if you walk onto the boat, you be very careful not to just phase through it.
They teach you about subpixels in boating school, like day one, I think.
Guaranteed. It's very important. We're wrapping up Dino Park, and this is where we have an important thing to pay attention to right here at the end, right?
Thank you for the reminder.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yep, absolutely. Happy to help both of you guys. So about halfway through this game here at Dino Park, depending on what flash in that crowd is currently active, will determine which firefighter dies. One of your firefighters always dies, and you get to choose. That choice is in your hands. The gravity of that choice will haunt you forever. But we choose Betty because she's not that good.
Sorry, Betty.
07 for Betty. You did great. You could also choose Jay. Jay is also an acceptable option, but it's important that we don't kill Nikos from video games.
Nikos from video games.
Yes. He's a very important firefighter for us for routing because, like we said, in the caves, in the mines rather, you need to reach certain firefighters to refill oxygen, and he's in an important location. And at the very end, he is actually a potential rescue victim. So the way we route is kind of contingent on whether he is alive. And so we make the choice. We do the trolley problem. Goodbye, Betty. All right, Whitney Appliances. This is my personal least favorite level because there's just so much fire. But you two are routing it pretty well.
Lots of doors too. I don't know if we mentioned that, but like the doors, like just stop all motion and inputs while they're opening.
Yes. Yeah. The door cutscenes are excruciating.
Ow.
We will see a lot of cases where doors will open, and because there's an input delay, we'll just walk into fire here. Mostly in Gemini Towers coming up, but
Gemini Towers is scary.
it is very scary. Something else to kind of note is our jump distance is also kind of something we need to pay attention to. I believe we can jump over, was it 3 tiles of fire sideways, and was it like 3? Is it also 3 up and down? I'm not sure.
It is technically 4, but it's like a 2 or 4 frame window or something like that. So it's not really an ideal choice.
4 with an asterisk.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is another case of damage boosting to activate a thing where we take damage on purpose there. Activate the reactor. Nice. Lighten ourselves on fire for the speed of it. There is a fire extinguisher specific to that color of fire. Our normal fire extinguisher can't actually extinguish it, which is what makes it necessary for us to make the choice of, sacrificing our body for the greater good. Yeah.
Yeah, labor is all about selling. I'm not gonna take that thought further.
I just temporarily forgot that you can hold the R button to like see fire in the other room.
That is,
There turned out to be fire there.
Everybody knows if you hold down R, you can see through ceilings and walls.
I admit I haven't been thinking about it. I'm just habitually tapping it holding it every time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a good habit to have. Here we are coming up to the last couple. Oh, oh no!
Move out of the fire, doofus.
Yeah, the people in this game are just not very smart. They just let themselves be on fire.
Oh, okay. You all saw that. That thing spawned right in front of me.
Yeah, sometimes this fire spread is on like a cycle, so sometimes you just have a fire spread into you, and it's just like, what?
And that's why I'm thankful not to do the tile minigame or the boiler room.
My God. Yeah, thankfully in Beat the Game, we don't have to do a lot of the more annoying minigames. Alright. David heading into the mine. And they called it a mine. A mine?
Rip Betty, by the way.
Rip Betty, by the way. Alright, so we bring the axe to this mine. This mine less needing the CO2, or not the CO2 the plastic explosives. They would still work, but the axe is just faster.
Yeah, the axe consumes more oxygen.
Yeah, it consumes more oxygen. However, the way we route doesn't matter for oxygen because we have Nikos from video games.
Mm-hmm.
And the axe animation is just faster than waiting for an explosive to go off.
Less painful too.
That as well, yeah. Up there we see our boy.
And then give Nikos a kick.
Get careful, Z. You
got stuck on a wall, you know. You know how it is.
as you do. The mines are notorious for getting stuck on walls, I feel like.
Just, you know, dangerously getting close to death here. It's fine.
Yeah,
you're about 24, right?
Yeah, we'll be all right.
My favorite thing is getting stuck on a wall, just running in place as your oxygen continues to go down. Like, all right.
Yeah, if your oxygen runs out and your health depletes, and you need that health for void warps.
Yeah, David kicked his way through that text. All right, and another use of the void to get back. Embrace the void. Very nice, very nice.
I leveled up.
2 levels left. It's flying by. It's a very fast run. All right, Gemini Towers. This one is... how would I describe this one? This one is just a lot of fire. Every level's a lot of fire, but we have burger time in this one.
Yeah,
you guys
burgers.
Excited to have some birds?
Shout outs to burgers.
Shout outs to birds.
Should I look into the telescope? No, I don't. No, I don't want to look into the telescope.
Yeah, let me know what you find in there. Let me know what you see in the telescope, and then I'll decide if I want to look in it.
The telescope is a trap.
Yeah, there's an NPC that we can rescue, who is just the arsonist who started the fire, and he's just kind of a troll. He's like, "Hey, look into this telescope," and then he like kicks you. Like, thanks. Thanks.
Last time I looked into the telescope, the only thing I saw was pain.
Yeah. The only thing I saw was that man's face. I was gonna say that guy's foot in my face, but you know, whatever.
And then he took my painting.
And then he took, yeah, my painting. It's more important than
I
the
ran out of
building
silly
on fire.
urgent messages, so Chris told me to tell you to read Video Games Magazine.
Great, dude. The dialogue in this game is incredible.
Yeah, they just they had a little bit of a story at the beginning, and then there's like, I don't know what else to say. We're just gonna like put a bunch of ridiculous text in here that breaks the fourth wall.
Pretty much, yeah.
Thank you.
Don't run out of that room too quick. Oh.
Oh, she's getting the elevator.
This is one of those levels where you can absolutely run out of a room, watch the cutscene, and then immediately hit fire, and then have to watch the door opening cutscene again. It can be miserable. But yeah, there's 2 towers here that we need to clear through, so we just did the right-hand side. Oh my god, Zero, you struggling over there. We'll be okay.
It took too
now
long.
we have to go to the other side.
I didn't hold on.
You gotta see through those walls. Alright. So are you gonna look into the telescope, Dave?
No, I'm not gonna look into the telescope.
Darn
Are
it.
you sure?
I think I'm pretty sure this time.
Darn it.
This level is rather sparse with people to rescue.
Yeah, I think there's like 10, and we need to save 9 of them or something.
Yeah, including the guy that tells you to look into the telescope.
Yep. Yeah, there's multiple ways to route this too because there's so few options. Like that, the last person you rescue can be one of 2 different ones, and it looks like you guys are going for 2 different ones.
Oh, wow.
which
Oh,
is-
interesting.
yeah, David went with the guy that was on the other floor.
Oh, got it. Okay.
One in the kitchen.
They're very close. Close to the same distance, so.
Yeah, the routing wise, it's about similar. All right, and we're moving into Shylock. Don't be shy. Lock in. All right, so here is where like the big decision about who we kill off actually matters. In the Shylock Towers, we will have the option to rescue Nikos as one of our required rescues. And it basically, having Nikos available means we don't ever have to go to the very top floor of Shylock, which is quite important for, you know, speedrunning the game.
Not important for
all
being
that fire grew back.
a good firefighter, you know.
Like all of it.
The fire not cooperating.
Oh, what? Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
The fire spread.
It
Oh,
like
that was rude. But there's Nikos.
oh my gosh.
Betty died so Nikos could survive. The fire in that conference room is like really awkward. There's like a way you can run like perfectly flush with the chairs to get under it, but it's pretty tight. And
Stop talking
urgent
to me,
message:
Chief.
keep your eyes open.
Leave me alone, Chief. I'm trying to get out of here. No.
Chief comes on comms, immediately kicks a wall.
Look, when my boss talks to me, I feel the same way.
Perfect. And we're coming up on time. That's
Time is
time,
on
right?
fade out after stage clear.
on fade out after stage clear. Right.
Nice job, Zero.
Oh my gosh, that was very
Jeez.
close. Yeah, 2140. What was yours?
2141 on my end.
Oh wow. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the feed right now. Holy moly.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was
That's like the
that's a
best
good
result.
race.
Wow. GG's. Holy cow.
How does it feel now that it's over? Why does everybody always ask that?
Oh, I'm,
Those guys-
I'm sweating all that fire, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I love
it-
this dude's.
Yeah, you can listen to the
unhinged-
dialogue here, and he's like, the guy like gets mad at the game developers for making the game so ridiculous. Like,
What's with all these other firefighters just standing around?
special
Well,
thanks to Michael Hart for the
congratulations.
initial idea for this game. Did you know I was supposed to be a cat? Fire cat, huh? What a stupid idea.
Yeah. Well, GG's to both of you. Congrats to Zero for winning the race. That was really close.
Only, yeah, a second? Like,
Yeah.
that's nuts. Okay. I'll let David go first on shout outs and anything he wants to say.
I don't know. I just want to shout out Flannel Cat because I know she loves this game and she's such a delight, and I'm sad she couldn't make it. But next time, all right?
Shout outs to Flannel Cat. Yeah, no, I'll just shout out. I've shouted myself out enough times. I'll shout out Board Boosters again. So the reason why David and I both ran this game is because it was selected for our speedrun club called Board Boosters back in December of 2023. It's
Yes.
pretty awesome. Probably one of the best games that we learned, in my opinion. Shout outs to Board Boosters, www.boardboosters.com. Check it out. Latalis, you want to say anything?
Well, I didn't do the run, but I was quite happy to be here with you guys. So
Yeah.
shout outs to you both.
Yeah, thank you, Latalis, for providing awesome commentary.
I hope it was insightful.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Retrothon. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.
See y'all later.
See you.